This is going to be a quick overview video of this watch. It's the Omega Speedmaster Automatic, the 3520.50 caliber 1151 movement. Triple date. It's a triple calendar, or also called sometimes the day date watch. And it's a variation of the Speedmaster series that's very famous from the brand. It's also happens to be one of my favorite watches. I love Speedies in general, but I've always had my eye on the Speedy since it came out in the 90s. I was like in high school then, and started getting into watches, and I kind of always liked Omega since James Bond movies, and I preferred Omega in terms of my ultimate luxury watches over Rolex and Cartier. And it was so much history at Omega. I'm a science guy, so I like the whole moon, man on the moon kind of a thing that comes with these watches. I kind of like that. I also like the whole James Bond and the man of action kind of that comes with this watch as well. Compared to like a Rolex or Cartier, where it's all like luxury brand, this is more of a sort of working luxury brand. I kind of viewed it as. So I've always wanted this watch, and I finally got it. I got it secondhand from a collector. Paid, I'm not going to say what I paid, but I paid between $2,000 and $3,000 for this watch. And it's in mint condition, actually. It came mint condition. I had it checked out at Omega in New York. And a lot of people don't know this, but you buy a used watch or a pre-owned watch from a collector, you take it into the store, and they usually have a watch master there or a watch technician that will spend about an hour with you, or without you. You can leave your watch in a lunch break and come back and get it at the end of the day, and they'll go over everything that's wrong or right with the watch. So he went over this watch and he said everything, the movement is flawless, it's moving well. Cosmetically, the watch is in mint condition. It's like brand new. Case back is super shiny. It's just oil from my skin. There, case back is super shiny. The original serial number is also on this watch on all the parts, so that's kind of helpful in him. It was a guy identifying the watch history, so he also went over the watch history and stuff like that. The watch hasn't been serviced in a while, even though the person I bought it from. Usually you'll see sellers, especially on eBay, say the watch is just fully serviced. If it's not serviced by Omega, it's not serviced. So you can have a local jeweler or watch shop service your watch by basically cleaning it, maybe checking the movement, winding it for you. And you could say it was recently serviced, but unless it was serviced by Omega, it's not fully serviced. But I'm going to go into that towards the end of the video about Omega servicing, particularly to this watch, because this is my my second Omega. I also have an Omega Speedmaster that's in a safe deposit box. It's locked away. It's a gift, graduation gift long ago from my dad. But this was the Speedmaster I wanted to buy for myself. The thing with this particular Speedy is that it's underappreciated movement. In that the movement it comes from, the 7751 caliber movement, is a well-known movement. It is very reliable, and the servicing, I wasn't sure about how the servicing for this movement is. This particular watches, you hear watches like these are expensive, but I was very surprised to find out that it's not expensive to service a watch like this, or not as expensive as I thought. It is still expensive, but if you're spending $2,000 to $3,000 for a watch, you know, you have to go with the flow. And about the movement gives you a lot of information on this watch, and I've had a lot of Citizen Casio watches, that kind of level of watches, where you get like a lot of information on a watch like a Casio or Citizen watch, but this gives you a lot of information for the size of the watch. And it's a 39 milliliter watch across. That's not counting the crown, that's just the dial body is 39 mm, which is tiny for a watch, because I've been wearing 45, 44, 46 mm watches, but going down to 39, I'm getting older. I have a daughter now. Changing diapers, you don't want to have a big bulky watch, and I find I usually tend to take off my Citizen watches a lot. And having this smaller watch, I've had it for about 2 weeks now, I take it off less when I'm doing chores and stuff like that, because it does not get in the way. And the clasp It's a little tricky there, but it snaps on. The clasp is very secure. I have a lot of Citizen watches with a double locking clasp and all that fancy mechanism to lock the watch against your wrist, but this is just simple, but it's very secure. It's more secure than I think other watches I've had, but it's also lightweight. It doesn't like dig into your wrist at all. 39, it wears well on my wrist. I have a 7.2-inch wrist, and it doesn't look big at all. I appreciate the size. I really appreciate it's not too big. I'm an adult now. I'm in my 30s, so I kind of don't want something gaudy. It looks very mature. It's a very beautiful watch. I know I'm off track here, but when you wear the watch, if you look at the bezel, you look at the outer silver ring and the inner silver ring, and then you have the crystal, and you have the black tacky bezel in between. It has like a little bit of a sandwich and a halo effect. It's really beautiful the way the light shines off of that, and the package of this watch, it just looks very expensive. It's a very beautiful watch, and I have my other Speedy. I never wear it, but it doesn't have the same effect. And the Speedies, the Speedies I have is a Hesselite crystal Speedy, the original Man of the Moon case back engraving, but that does not glow on my wrist the way this watch glows. It looks really, really expensive when you wear it in person. I know this video is an iPhone 5 recording it. This does not show how beautiful this watch is when you wear it. I'm just going to go into that. The Sapphire Crystal on this watch is domed. Funny enough, I've had a couple of watches with Sapphire Crystal, but this is my first experience with a Sapphire Dome Crystal. And the effect of this, it does give off a bit of glare, but the way the glare comes off of this crystal, because of the dome, it has a nice sparkle to the crystal. I'm going to take it off my wrist so you guys can get a better look at it. It has a nice, I guess, glare or sparkle. It has a very nice sparkle off the dome of this sapphire, and it's beautiful. I mean, I have a couple of Citizen watches with that sapphire crystal, but it's a flat sapphire crystal. Maybe it's cheaper to do a flat sapphire than a domed sapphire, but it is beautiful. And the way the dome, let me focus so you guys can see a little better. The way it is, it's just, I love how it looks. I love how it looks. And in fact, I'm going to go into what I'm going to do with this watch. I want to replace the bezel. The bezel is scuffed up a little bit from the previous owner. And the sapphire crystal, while it is very beautiful and clear, I kind of want to replace it because it is showing a bit of age. If you look into the glare here, you can see something, it looks like fingerprints kind of under the crystal. I'm not sure what that is, but I kind of want to just replace the crystal. And I took it, my Omega guy told me, I had it fully looked at. I didn't have it serviced, but I had it fully looked over. And it's a free service they do. He quoted me for this watch to replace the crystal was, shit, I'm losing my memory, was $195 for the crystal, $195 for the bezel, because the bezel is not an insert. It's the whole thing they have to replace. They have to replace the whole steel and the black part there. So it's a whole one piece that comes off. So it's $195 and $195 for the crystal. And that includes a warranty. They also pressure and water test it and reseal it. So that includes a lot of things, the warranty and the parts and stuff like that, service. So $195 for the crystal, $195 for that bezel. The servicing of this watch, basically what Omega does, they ship it to Seattle, Washington, and the watch master will take apart this watch. Every screw, everything comes apart on this watch, and whatever is not functioning or whatever is looks old or used, they'll replace it. For one price, it's $719 for this particular watch. It varies from Omega to Omega watch, but for this particular movement, it's $719 is what I was quoted. And everything gets replaced that needs to be replaced. If you want something replaced, you can say just replace a certain part. They'll do it for that price. So he also says that includes the dial hands, the crowns. It does not include the dial face or any exterior parts like the crystal, the bezel, or case back, or clasp. It does not include that. The $719 only includes what's inside the watch and everything that's involving the movement of the watch. So anything that gets that needs replacing will get replaced for that price. If you want something replaced, like say my dial hands are kind of like not looking good, I could say replace the dial hands for that price. They don't touch the dial, from what I was told, but everything else gets replaced. The crowns, if you need those replaced, the buttons, they'll replace those. Now, I may do everything all in once. It's about $1,200 to do the crystal, the bezel, and the servicing, or I could do it bit by bit. I could do the crystal, the bezel, so it depends on how I want to do it. But I think for that value, it's a good a good value. I mean, you basically get a new watch back. It takes 6 to 8 weeks. And you get basically a new watch back. And they also, the thing with these watches, when you buy them, they're about almost 20 years old now, because this watch debuted in 1996. So you're buying one of these, you're getting like basically I would say average a 15 to 20-year-old watch. The waterproofing of these watch, the Matt watch tech told me, it doesn't last. I don't know what they seal it with, but the seals also needs to be replaced. So if you buy one of these used or secondhand, don't swim or wear it in the shower, because chances are the waterproofing is not maybe 100% anymore. And this watch was never really the most waterproofed watch when it was new. It was only waterproof up to 160 something feet, maybe 10 meters, I believe, or 10 bars. So it's not, or it wasn't already a waterproof watch. So you don't want to do much water sports with this watch on until you get it fully serviced. And that service also reseals all the seals in the watch and pressure test it, so it becomes waterproof again. If you want, you can enhance the waterproofing. I think is what he told me. You could add like a bigger seal or something like that. So $719, that gets you full service in crystal bezel, $195 a piece. This is what I was quoting. Those are New York prices on this date, September 2015. So it could go up, it could be lower depending on where you live. And it takes 6 to 8 weeks for that servicing, and it does ship out to Seattle, Washington. So, and also if you want any special parts or requests, it could take up to 3 months is what they told me. But it's a great investment for what I paid. I think I'm gonna do the servicing and maybe just keep it in my family, give it down to my kids, I guess. But it's a beautiful watch. It's also one of my dream watches. Next to, I think, the Rolex Submariner is one of my also all-time watch. The blue dial with the white gold. Submariner is what I had my eye on, but that watch is like $36,000, so it's out of my budget by a lot. But until then, like, this is something I'm gonna wear daily. I got rid of all my Citizen collection. I just swept all those Citizen watches I've reviewed in the past on this channel to the side. I'm not gonna really wear Citizen much anymore because I don't like the big dials anymore. 45, you know, it's not just my thing. 45 mm's. I like the 39 and maybe a 40 mm. Maybe 42 is stretching it. My Speedy is 42. My other Speedy is 42. This one is 39. But I actually want to get the there's different colors and shades of this watch, so I'm gonna be starting to collect a bunch of these Speedies and the triple dates, different colors. I think I'm not gonna say which ones, because I tend to find out when I advertise things in this channel, like people go out and buy it and then I have a tough time getting it myself. So look out for more reviews on Omega watches. I'm gonna update you guys on this watch as I update the parts and get it serviced and let you guys know how the servicing works. Also, I think I'm gonna just do a full review of this watch after I wear it for a month or so, going over the parts, the timekeeping, the functions of this watch. The chronograph is really smooth on this watch. I think I'm out of time on this video, but I'm gonna end it here. I just wanted to introduce you guys to, you know, what's next for me in terms of my watch collection, stuff like that. But it's definitely one of my favorite watches. I'm glad I finally got it. And that's it. Look out for more videos in the future. Thank you.